Hi guys! In today's video, we're gonna filter our opportunities gallery by sales stage, status, as well as by customer. If you like this content, please, again, don't forget to subscribe. It's really valuable for me, your comments and feedback, so I can apply that in the next videos. So let's start. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is apply some filters to this gallery. So first of all, let's change the name of the gallery. In this case, it's gonna be Opportunities Gallery. Okay. Now that we have changed the name, we can also change the value of this HTML text. Instead of Customers Gallery, we can change that with Opportunities Gallery. So now we can see the number of opportunities that we have, right? We have 79 opportunities. Then let's work on ordering the list of opportunities. So in the items properties, where we see the opportunities list, we're going to use a sort by column function. Here we're going to sort by the title, right? Which is going to be the name of the opportunity. Title. Okay, and we can specify the sort, if it's gonna be the order, if it's gonna be ascending or descending. We're gonna choose ascending by now. So we're refreshing, and now we can see that the opportunities, if we preview, we can see that the opportunities are ordered by the opportunities name, right? Now let's change the onSelect property or onSelect method for this control. Remember that since we copied this icon, we are also copying the values of their properties. So here, instead of sort descending opportunities, we're going to change by sort descending opportunities, right? Basically the opposite. If you remember, we are updating the value of that variable. And now that we have done that change, we can replace this section of order with this validation. Let's say if sort descending is true, if the value of that variable is true, we are gonna change that to descending. If not, this is gonna be ascending, right? So basically we are replicating the same functionality we already applied to the customers gallery. So now we can look at this. If we click on this icon, we're gonna see that we are ordering ascending or descending. Good. Now we can start applying some filters, in this case by the status. So to do that, on the invisible property, we're going to add this variable, which is a status filter. By default, it's going to have a blank value. We are basically initializing that variable. Let's add some comments here. Store the selected status. Yeah, so that variable is going to store the status, and that's what I'm going to use in order to filter the values of the gallery. So what we're going to do is on the onSelect property for the first button, we are basically use the update context to set the value of the variable we just created. So it's gonna be easy. If we just specify, for example, if I click on all, I want to put this variable status filter in blank, right? So basically I am specifying that I am filtering, I'm not applying any filter. If I click on active, is the value of the variable is gonna be active. The same if I click on hold, we just specify the status is gonna be on hold. and the same with the cancelled button. So basically we are specifying, this is the same method, we are just specifying the value of the status filter variable depending on the button we press. Now we can use the value of that variable to apply some filters. So we are going to filter the opportunities list. Okay, that's going to be the source, and we're going to add the logical test, which basically, yeah, is going to be validation, right? So I'm going to specify if, let's say, the status filter variable is different than blank. I mean, if the status filter variable has any value, we are going to apply some filters. So basically the filter is going to be status, the status property or the status field from the SharePoint list is going to be equal to the status filter value. If not, we are just going to apply the opposite, right? Just let me do the change here. Okay. So basically what I'm telling here is if, for example, I press the active button, we are gonna filter the opportunities which are active. So let's do the example. I click active and I'm filtering but that. If I click on hold, the same. And the same with cancelled, right? And we see the number of opportunities. If we click all, basically since the value is blank, we are just showing all the opportunities. Awesome. Now let's apply a filter, this time by stage. If I select the stage, I want to filter by that value. So that's gonna be similar. We basically are gonna add an additional filter to our gallery. Before doing that, let's be sure about the name of the drop down, right? Okay, so remember that we can apply more than one filter. If I specify comma, we can add another logic to specify an additional filter to this list. Basically, I'm gonna validate if I have selected any value from the drop down stage. So I'm validating that the value is different than this select stage, right? Yeah, because if I have not selected any stage, by default the value is going to be select a stage, right? So in case I have selected a stage, we are going to apply an additional filter. This time we are going to filter by the opt stage field. This is another field in a SharePoint list. So I am going to apply the value selected from the drop down. If not, we are basically going to put the opposite value, right? So just copy that and specify the opposite. We can apply some format to look at it. Okay, that's a second filter or a second logical test to apply filters. So now I can filter by stage, and I can also, yeah, you can look that while I select an option, we show the different values. And we can apply more than one filter at the same time, right? You can see that. Now let's add the third filter. I think it's the most important. The filter by customer. The idea is if I select a customer, I should be able to filter its opportunities, right? So we're gonna add a rectangle here, and I'm gonna show you why. First of all, let's add this rectangle. Okay. You know that since I added that rectangle to the gallery, this is replicated through all of the items in that gallery. Now let's change the fill of this rectangle. In this case, the value is gonna be, let me put this 30, 30, and 30. And we can apply some transparency. In this case, we're gonna put 0.2 for the transparency. Let's put 0.002 to to have more transparency here. We can rename the rectangle. We can specify, for example, rec select customer, just to identify the rectangle in an easier way. And let's change the value of the onSelect property, right? Let's select this, and I'm gonna basically specify the update context method to set a variable. Okay, so now here we're gonna specify a variable which is gonna be var customer, and it's gonna have the value of the title from the item who has been selected. In this case, we're gonna store basically the name of the customer, right? So let's add this comment here, store the name of the selected customer. This is important because this is a value that we're gonna use to filter the opportunities gallery. And we're gonna use another variable, status filter. Well, basically we're gonna set the status filter to blank, right? So in each time we click on the item, we're gonna put it in blank. Now we're gonna apply that filter. It's gonna be a third filter to our opportunities gallery. Actually, we're gonna basically apply two filters at the same time. So for example, for the status, we're gonna add the value. Also, we're gonna filter by customer, and we're gonna add the value of the variable, right? So the customer is gonna be equal to var customer, the same here, and we are gonna add the same filter or the same value in this other expression. So here, in the case of opportunity stage, we are also going to filter by not only by opportunity stage, but also by customer. So now when we click on preview, we see that we don't have any item. If we click on one of the customers, we're gonna see only the opportunities associated to that customer, right? There are some customers that don't have opportunities, so we don't see any values. Great. Now let's do some additional changes. We're gonna go here on the field. So remember, we applied the field to the rectangle, but we're gonna put a condition, right? Because we're gonna change the color of the rectangle when I select an item. So basically, if this item is selected, we are gonna apply a different field, right? Maybe we are gonna, well, let me copy this. We are gonna change the color to a transparency of 0.2. And if not, we're gonna keep the same color. Just let me add the RGBA expression here that represents basically the color. Okay, cool. So now let me just preview. You're gonna see the difference, right? When I click on one of these items, the color of the rectangle is gonna be different. Let me click, for example, in this customer. You see that the color of the rectangle, the fill of the rectangle has changed. Now, if I change the value of the filter for region, I'm gonna do some changes. So in the onChange property, I'm gonna update the value of the variable that basically filter by customer, right? Let me change the value of var customer, of the variable by customer, to put it in blank. So basically what I'm doing with this is, when I change the value of the region selected, I want to refresh everything. So no opportunities are shown, because I need to select a specific customer to show its opportunities, right? So in the case there is no customer selected, I want to add a label. Just let me click here, and let's add the label in this position. And basically the label is gonna show a text that is gonna tell everybody that we need to specify we need to select a customer, right? So let me first change some of the properties, the font, the size again, and maybe the color also. Let me put this label here. Now let's change the text. So I'm gonna put here, please select a customer, right? To show its opportunities. Cool. So let's just change the color of this text to be this one. Okay, now it looks better. So now when I preview, if I have not selected any customer, I'm gonna show this label. And also obviously I'm gonna change the visible property. By default is true, but I'm gonna add a condition, right? If the better customer is let me put this, is equal to blank, it's I'm gonna show this label. If not, I'm gonna hide this label. Okay, so now you can see that if I click on one of the properties, one of the customers, sorry, I don't see anything. This ABC customer, for example, has no opportunities, so I'm gonna add a label. This is gonna be a different label, which is gonna show me a different text when there are no opportunities associated to a particular customer, right? So again, we're gonna do something similar. Basically, first of all, let's change the properties like the font, the color, the size, right? Just let me do this really quickly. And now let's change the text. I'm gonna put there are no opportunities associated to or registered for this customer. Basically, we can use the value of the variable, right? So it's gonna be a dynamic text. And for the color, let's put a red color. Okay, cool. Now we see this label, but we need to apply again a different expression here in visible, right? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna use the count rows method. This count rows requires a source. Basically, it's gonna be the opportunities gallery. Let me put all items. Okay, so this is gonna be the source. So what I'm doing is counting the number of items that my opportunities gallery have. So if the value is equal to 0, and if the bar customer variable is different than, let me put here, than blank, right? We're gonna show let me put true or false. We're gonna show the label or not. So basically, I'm just gonna show that label if there are no items in the opportunities gallery. Obviously, when we apply some filters, right? So now we can test the whole thing. Excellent. Great, and now it's working. Alright, my friends, that was all for this video. If you like this content, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share this video with your friends. I put a lot of effort in this content, so receiving your comments, your feedback is really valuable for me. That motivates me to create more and better content. See you in our next videos. Bye.